but because of the Mirana, you're so much early fighting power, right? Whether it's good lane control, like you always have good lane control because you're always paired up with some sort of support that ensures the arrow. It's why I last game was so criticizing the Bloodseeker pickup, because I don't like seeing Mirana as a support if you have no stun for it. Because we've all seen Chuan running Mirana as a support, but when you're running Mirana, not only with not a setup stun, but as a 5 position, and the Enigma being your 4, that's just so greedy. Tidehunter now being grabbed by LGD, and they actually have a good amount of team fight themselves. They have good lane control with the Bane Mirana, so the dual lanes are going to be looking pretty strong here. I don't think they can run that aggressively, though, the Bane Mirana. That's going to have to be a defensive dual lane, and Tidehunter will be forced into the off lane.
They have good team fight now from LGD. Nice split push. Remaining. So with Tidehunter, maybe they can do what they couldn't before, and that's team fight. Remaining. So right now, LGD not looking too bad in this next game either. Time. They've been definitely stepping it up on their picks. And what will IG do? They need another support hero, something to control them. Maybe Disruptor. Disruptor would be a good hero. What else is there? Is Shadow Demon, but they won't have that many
seconds remaining.
Witch Doctor. Okay, I was down with the Disruptor with you, but Witch Doctor being grabbed and him before, he's really good up against Wisp lineups too. I can't believe I didn't think about that, because you have that kind of insured cask bounce that either forces the Wisp to separate himself from the Tiny in order to get that distance, or they end up having a big chance of sharing that stun back and forth, and that's pretty risky. Witch Doctor also going to add in a little bit extra pushing power, not through any damage he outputs, but Voodoo Restoration just giving them a little bit more sustain pushes. I really like this lineup from IG right now, but LGD, it's going to be all up to Yao, I think. All up to the Tidehunter and whether or not he can get those good Ravages. If his lane goes well enough to be able to grab an early Blink Dagger, you could see the Ravage, Blink in, remaining. Ravage into the Relocate, follow that up with a Tiny remaining. Combo, and then 1, maybe even 2 heroes are instantly dead before they do anything.
Well, I'm just going to say that IG's lineup's better, just for me. If they get the fast mechanism probably on the Furion, I think they'll do it this game. And then they'll have a lot of sustain, a tremendous amount. And I don't think LGD can contest. And I think they can get the mechanism fast enough where there's no Aghnums on the Tiny. So if they can get it fast enough where Rabbit doesn't have his Ags up, they can take down these towers easily without having to deal with the split push too much.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like IG's lineup a little bit more too, mainly because I feel like LGD, their chance to be able to win these team fights is because you're not going to have that insured Blink Dagger for Tidehunter. Like, if he was insured a good lane to be able to farm up, maybe. But because he's going to be probably running off lane here, it's less likely he'll be able to have that faster Blink, and by the time he does have it, you'll probably be seeing BKBs, or at least some big stat items up for IG. So I think their whole entire lineup is so centered around this Ravage initiation that if they don't get a good Ravage, they're not going to be able to contest these towers, just falling one after another.
You know what I've been noticing for a long time now? I'm so surprised that people just don't do the Furion pulls anymore. Like, you could do the Furion pulls where Bane and them are right now, and then you could just mess it up, the creep wave, just having 2 heroes. Depending on what the 2 supports are, you could kill off maybe one of the trees, but you can put it all the ways back down, all the ways behind your tier 1 or in front of it, and you'll have a good wave, and then.
What do you think about this, though? They're running Tidehunter in the mid position, which I really like. Like, he's going to be going up melee versus melee. That's not bad for Tidehunter. It's always a great situation. In fact, Anchor Smash is actually a really threatening ability in these 1v1 scenarios, not because of the damage being output on Ferrari. He should be fine in that regards with Bottle and as well as Dragon Blood. He has a high amount of armor to deal with that physical damage, but it's actually the damage reduction that's going to be a huge part.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna see an aggressive try lane out from IG. Kind of weird from them. Maybe Luo's gonna go exort this game. We'll see what he wants to do. But in the bottom lane, Rana has DPS on him, but right now he's just harassing around the lane.
Yeah.
Super aggressive play.
Oh, the arrow not going out, and it's easily dodged by Luo there. And now Yao just taking a ton of harassment there for nothing being turned around. It's just Cold Snap is such a great ability that despite the fact he had a good 7 damage on that Invoker, couldn't actually fight up against him.
Yeah, I think Lin should be winning this kind of heavily since Ferrari, well, he is bottle crowing. So every time he's using his Flame Breath, he's getting a CS. So I guess that's what is to be expected right now. But Ferrari pulling this wave back. Now he's going to get some more CS here and see how is the rotation. Chuan plus Faith. I'm trying to see who this favors in the long run.
This tri-lane versus tri-lane.
Yeah. I mean, you're shutting down the Wisp tiny free farm, but you're also hurting your levels. You're securing your Nature's Prophet off lane, but your DK shouldn't be winning mid, but he kind of is. And
yeah, honestly, Lin,
know,
I've watched him miss way too much CS so far. This should be a great lane for him. He doesn't go to the level 2 anchor smash as soon as possible, and I'm a little bit surprised by that. I don't feel you're really going to need Gush early on this lane. Again, the high amount of armor means Dragonite can survive through the harassment. It's just the 60% damage reduction that becomes an issue when it comes to CSing.
Ferrari's going to be picking up the first rune, so he's going to come back.
Radiant's middle
I mean, they
tower
just have
is
a lot
under
of...
attack.
Well, they have the level advantage right now on LGD. Not yet. Alright, there we go. Faith, all of them level 2 now. So, with that heal, double heals, I don't think they can die.
I don't think so either. With the Shadow Wave, especially with the treants that are going to be aggroing onto these heroes, the Shadow Wave is going to do a lot of damage. You combine that with the fact that Tiny has no armor in the beginning of the game, the harassment plus the physical damage from the Shadow Wave, that's a lot to fear for a Tiny. Even if he does have 2 supports backing him up, he can't really be as aggressive with his CSing as he would like to be. So he's being forced back by this triple tri-lane. And triple ranged tri-lane. And it's just not being able to be that effective. At the same time, the Invoker's very happy with this matchup up against the Mirana because he's got a lot of room. It's not like a mid matchup. A side lane matchup allows you to be able to harass your enemy hero a lot more. And especially with any sort of stuns or slows like Cold Snap, a great ability for you to be able to chase down that Mirana a little bit more.
Yeah. Mirana might be playing a little bit too passive. Just needs to go up and hit him 1 or 2 times when this creep wave comes up. Make him pull the creep aggro to you so you can get your lane pushing back to you. But, well, Rabbit had a good time. He was leading the CS top. Now, with the lane being pushed at, he might be getting more CS now, though. So...
Dire's structures
Yeah, they are pushing this tower, and they can't really, like, how do you stop this? You don't have any spam from these supports, and it's not like Tiny wants to blow his combo in order to stop this wave, so they're going to be able to take down this tower, just chip it away. Every single wave, they're going to be able to do just like 100 damage here, 200 damage there. And in the longer run, that's going to mean a tier 1 tower falling fairly early.
Middle lane, they got stunned up over tower. Don't have Flame Breath. He has it in 5 mana, but he's fine. Yeah, top tower. It's getting low. They don't have a fortify. This is gonna go down no matter what.
Yep, and
One
with
way or another.
the Voodoo Restoration, the attempt at a deny does not land. Cass starts bouncing around a little bit. But he's going to go for a combo here, trying to get close enough. But Rabbit, look at that physical damage, beating him back. And the first blood does get picked up. Looks like Tidehunter was picked off by the Sunstrike. DDC, though, getting low. The bottle keeps him alive. Now the stun completely whiffs. Oh, no. DD's going to fall because of that. As the stun doesn't go out, the toss, sleep, actually keeping him alive for a little bit longer. They still get the right clicks. And Rabbit's in the middle of all of them. He's got a full amount of mana. He can get a kill here as soon as his avalanche is up. But they're just being Voodoo Restoration, man. It's too damn strong. They're just sitting there fighting back Rabbit. And he had to wait too long for his avalanche to come back. He needed a full combo to be able to pop one of those heroes because his right clicks and toss was not enough damage. Voodoo Restoration, that's why it's such a strong tri-lane ability, is because you just the extra bit of sustain is so key.
Yeah, Antoine there did a lot of work too. That shadow wave at the end, healing up his allies and damaging Rabbit, making him to go force back. And not normally you see the Wisp, the bottle with all that regen being forced out of lane so early. And well, I mean that's a 2-0 tower advantage going the way of IG really in this early game. And I wish I had seen what happened middle, but yeah, Lin getting caught out by that Sunstrike, it's not helping. So Ferrari now picking up a DD rune, coming back in the middle lane, and he's got them out as much CS as you could expect from a Dragon Knight in this middle matchup.
Yeah, the one nice thing is that Dragon Knight, no matter who he matches up against, he's always going to have decent CS because he has a lot of survivability, he just has that spam. But they wanted to be able to pick up a kill on him, maybe even wanting to use the Ravage to gank the Dragon Knight nice and early, but they're not going to be able to find that. And this 2 support rotation not going to do much here, and we're actually going to see IG. They're going to summon some treants at the bottom lane and push it down with the and the Force Spirits. So now you see like this pushing power that comes out from those 2 heroes combined. Stun up, DD, and a little bit of trouble here. Gets quickly bursted down as the Shadow Wave does that extra bit of damage required.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And LGD falling apart at the seams right now. Every single one of their lanes is losing.
Yeah, and they have the DD for middle lane onto this tower, so this is going to be doing a lot of damage. They need to rotate, but Wisp is still level 4. They're not going to have to relocate for this, and this tower is going to get taken down. And bottom tower is getting taken down. This is the push that we were worried about coming to fruition. And right now, it's just getting way out of control. You saw, we were talking about a 5,000 gold lead at like 12 minutes. Now it's a 5,000 gold lead at before 8 minutes. This is just...
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect to have a Titan or have a Blink.
Oh, DD's gonna get picked up bottom.
Sunstrike easily.
And the tower's dead now, because they have 0 D push. 0 D push, if you're not getting these amazing kills in the early game by LG, you're just gonna get steamrolled here.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, their only hope was to get Tidehunter an early amount of farm, and I think it's just like the aggressive tri-lane is really what caught them out. Like it shut down the Tiny, but it also took that tower nice and early, while also giving Invoker a very favorable lane. Like tri-lane scenarios aren't really that great for Invoker because he needs a lot of experience. So that solo safe lane is perfect for him, where he was in a favorable matchup up against the Mirana, and then really pushed that advantage, harassing him out, but also using the Sunstrike in that middle lane, getting that kill on Tidehunter, just boosted his levels even more. So he was able to push in his lane, and then of course the middle with the Dragon Knight, after they got the kill on the Tidehunter, had a decent advantage there, and enough to be able to start threatening that tower, especially after he grabbed the double damage rune. So all these tier 1 towers going down, that was supposed to be what a Tidehunter would prevent with his initiation, with a jump in, a Ravage, but it looks like he's now abandoning that idea and instead going for an early mech.
Oh my gosh, a 9-minute orchid on Invoker. I haven't seen that in a long time. That's normally what Quaz Wex. This is an Exort Invoker with this much amount of farm, and they know they're coming over. They know they had that ward planted there. They know they're farming this right here, and well, Ferrari's gonna catch out Rabbit. They don't have risk relocation. That's gonna be 2 dead right here.
Easily. The bounce is gonna be able to land on DDC, and they're just gonna slow him down. Jeez, that one right click. Finally, they get it. Dragon Knight picks him off 6-0, 9.5 minutes in. I thought maybe with that momentum of Game 3, LGD would be able to put on quite the show in Game 4, but unfortunately, they're just being shut out every single way. Lin's gonna go down this middle lane. Fortunately, he was able to get through some of that stun thanks to his Kraken Shells. As you can see, he's actually maxing out Kraken Shell secondary. And I think I actually really like that with the recent buffs. Nobody talks about it, but
Dire's top tower
production has been buffed up a little bit, now going up to 40, but also the damage threshold. You now have a reason to level it up past level 1. Oh, Lin, he went to go for the Ravage there, stunned up by the cast. Faith is still going to get popped here. No shell trade. Goes off, and he might be able to live. Ravage goes out, that will ensure the kill on Faith. Nope, a little bit extra heal. He's going to be able to get away. Rabbit trying to get close enough. Moonlight Shadow, though, he's being beaten back. Lin taken out very, very low. DDC should be able to get away. At the same time, the Tiny, he's silenced up. Orchid on him. He's going to fall here. He can't get away. Lin, now he's stuck in the trees. He's going to go down. Ferrari survives barely through the orbs. The heal coming out from the Witch Doctor. How many times does this Voodoo Restoration save them? It's even level 2. unbelievable. They are actually able to survive. Nobody goes down. They're all up to back to full health, and tier 2's falling. This is going to be a 10k lead by
Dire's
15
middle
minutes.
tower has fallen.
This rate, I don't see any way for LGD to stop this kind of constant push from IG now.
I expected this game to go a little bit like this, but I didn't think they'd get steamrolled. I thought they could have made a little bit here, pickoffs here and there, but they haven't been able to do any of that. So this combo, this support combo is doing a lot of work. I mean, it just seems MVP material. It's just doing too much this game. And, well, I didn't talk about this earlier, but I was going to talk about it now since I gave him the chance. That Mirana had 20 CS when the Invoker had like 55. And that's just nasty. That's just nasty in the laning. So I don't think she should have lost that badly to the Invoker, but
Yeah.
Dire's top
It's
tower
just-
has fallen.
what can they do now?
I think
They're
that
too
one
far
play.
behind.
I think that one play that we saw where he got cold snapped and missed the arrow cost him
Yeah,
so
was
much
dead.
there. Yeah, he's been stunned up, and Sunstrike will
Sunstricken.
seal the deal, and that means we now have a Shadow Blade up for Dragon Knight. That was an invis
Radiant's
rune that he was
bottom
using
tower
earlier,
is
so
under
we now
attack.
have that constant presence on the map, and LGD, they won't even be able to split push effectively due to just the natural kind of gank power of Ferrari having that Shadow Blade mixed in with the Sunstrike. Like, normally I think you could survive Blast to Shadow Blade, but once you include the Sunstrike, that's too much damage. It just, you get bursted down so quickly. So when the Wisp and Tiny go to try and split push, they're still going to have to worry about Ferrari at all times.
Well, they're pitching the perfect game, pitching the perfect shutout, and right now they're just, it's too much right now, too much. All right, they have Ravage, they'll have the mechanism soon for Lin. They'll have this split push going on with the Wisp and the Tiny, but if you get caught out once by the Shadow Blade, you're gonna get bursted down, and I don't think this Wisp is gonna survive since Ferrari knows to go on the Wisp instead of the Tiny.
They have to
right
get
now.
the most.
They have to steal the Roshan.
Yeah. They have to steal Roshan. They have to get the perfect Ravage into the perfect Avalanche combo, hitting a couple of heroes. And then after that, they have to steal Roshan. Oh, and also have an arrow landing on someone else. Like, the Ravage hits a bunch of people, and Rabbit hits like a combo on a couple of them, while on the other side, Yao stuns up somebody else with an arrow shot. Like, that was really the idea for me. When I was looking at these team fights, I was like, okay, you go in, you initiate with the Ravage, you can land an arrow off of that one, and you can burst somebody else down with the Tiny combo. And hopefully that's enough to be able to win the team fight and force the enemy back. Double stun here coming out. Gonna be able to pop the Witch Doctor. Oh, Chuan embraces the arrow. Arrow is love. Arrow is life. Chuan falls. Ferrari, though, still wants to go for this bursting down DDC. There he goes. And now Rabbit's in some trouble. Rabbit goes out just to be able to save him, but he's still being stunned up. Cast bounces around, finish him off, and now the hero's being trapped inside the Sprout. They're all gonna fall here. So now the cold snap goes down. Rabbit goes to GG. They didn't even wait for the rest of LGD to be able to get away. 14 minutes in, even faster than Game 1 and Game 2. Invictus Gaming in very good form right now, and LGD just do not have what it takes to contest them.
Well, I would chop this up to the draft plus then the lanes. So really well played by